Listen, we've got to start out with this. We got to give you a recheck, a reboot. We got to be making these money moves in May and reminding you, why can't it be you? Why can't you be the lucky one? Why can't this be the week that everything clicked? Why can't this be the month that the thing happened? Why can't it be that accumulation of all of your work and effort and manifesting all comes to fruition now, faster than ever, things that worked out better than you could have even imagined? Why can't that be you? Because you see it can be other people. In fact, there are other times in your life where it has been you, maybe in just other areas of your life. So why can't it be different? Why can't something change immediately? Don't forget that what is meant for you can't miss you. It's simply impossible. Your job is to get out of the damn way. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. I know you've temporarily lost your mind. You've been swirling in a spiral. You'll have a day or two where you feel like you're in the abundance zone and then you slip out of it and then you're back into it and you're slightly losing your mind. I understand where you're at and you feel like you're doing everything and yet something is still missing. You don't know what it is, but you know that you have the talent, you have the thing, you know what it is you teach is good, you know that you have value to offer and you have the heart and you're willing to do the work, but it's just not clicking. And then it starts messing with you where you're like, maybe I just think I'm better than I am. And I'm really not all that great. And I'm not meant to do this. Or maybe I like kind of just want to believe I'm meant to do this and I'm not. And you get all mishmashed up there. I promise you, you would not have this vision for yourself and your life and the people that you want to help. You wouldn't have it if you weren't meant to do something with it and you're listening to this show, you found me, you connected with me for a reason because I specialize in getting you to the how. So there's two things you can do right now that are going to get things moving. You've got to make a money move. If it's been stagnant and stuff isn't working, you hoping and wishing and praying and manifesting that it's going to change, that's what I call as passive manifestation. You've got to do the active manifestation part and take contrary action. Take a different action, even action that seems counterintuitive to what you think you should be doing in order to put you in a different place. I would do the abundance combo, the duo of getting one of the last spots for new members in my Project Me Posse business coaching membership. All right. That link is in the show notes in the description here on YouTube. That is going to teach you the highest income generating skills that you can learn so fast. Some people pick up on it a little faster than others. And it's not a matter of someone being smarter. It's just a matter of how much inner work you've done. My empaths tend to pick up on this stuff really quickly. So it has nothing to do with like how long you've been in business or anything like that. It's your ability to tap in emotionally, but you learn how to properly package your offers and frame your messaging and speak to your ideal client and speak about your various offerings and products, you'll make millions of dollars, period. And that is one of the main things that I teach inside the posse. We also do a lot of focus on abundance, the mindset stuff, and all sorts of like lead generation, growing your audience, all of that. You can see everything on the sign up page, projectmewithtiffany.com/. Project Me Posse. This membership is capped at an intimate size. So if you go to the page and it says closed, then you can maybe check back. I would say every week, check back and see if there's new member spots open. So it closes itself when we're at capacity. Okay. And the duo is my Make More Work Less money course. And if your asses have bought it and it's just sitting there and you're avoiding it, I'm showing it here on YouTube. You get the video modules, course modules, and you follow along with this incredible 70-page workbook with additional exercises that are all strategically set in order to transform your money story in 7 days or less. And some people take a little longer to go through it because stuff comes up. We go deep in here. You want to get to the root of what is blocking you, what is blocking the flow of money and abundance, and you don't know what the hell it is, and you feel like you're doing all the things and nothing is working. This is the damn thing to do. And that is also in the show notes in the description on YouTube. I have extended my flash sale for May, for Money Moves May, for this. So it's $200 off. And then we're pulling that flash sale down. So go grab the damn thing, get inside the posse, make moves according to the money you want to make. If I were to give a bonus to my 11 money rules, and this is the final part in the series, so this is part 4 today, that would be my bonus. I hope you heard that loud and clear. All right, let's get into it. So, and it's okay if you have not listened to the other parts. These rules are in no particular order. So, my fellow Virgos and other people who like doing things in order, I have also listed each of the episode numbers and the hyperlinks to them inside the show notes so that you can easily do it. In this final part of this popular series, which are my 11 golden money rules that will make you rich. This is accumulation of all the mistakes I made, all the things that I did right over the course of 20 years that took me from making $17,000 a year to being the multimillionaire that I am today. Okay. So hear me on that. This is everything. Golden money rule number 9. Checking your motivation for everything prior to making a decision. When we don't pause, and I don't mean you have to pause for 24 hours or you necessarily have to sleep on something. When you're in the game of life and you want to make money, I don't believe in doing that. Okay. Because if you snooze, you lose on a lot of opportunities. And I've made that mistake. I know there's people who have probably taught you, oh, you should really sleep on it. Oh, you should da 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 da. I don't agree. I don't feel that's necessary. A lot of times you'll miss out on opportunities or you'll even lose your zest for doing something. You can end up getting too far into your head and talk yourself out of something. Like it allows too much time for your ego to come in and grab you or your procrastination habits to come in and grab you. But I do want you to pause, but we're going to pause with intention, not just pause and just kind of go, oh, let's see how I feel in my body. I want you to ask yourself these questions, and you can use this in your personal life or professional life. Before saying yes to someone, before saying no, before making a decision, do I put out this offer, this program? Should I post this? Should I put an episode out for this? Should I do this thing? What is my motivation here? And you don't have to share this with anyone. So you can be brutally honest. In fact, I need you to be with yourself. I was recently asked to attend this influencer event in LA, and I'm starting to get asked to go to these, which is hysterical to me because I'm apparently a skin influencer on TikTok, even though I don't talk about my skin at all. It can be flattering, right? To be invited to like a sexy influencer event and it's free and there's a red carpet and there's this and there's that. And I know what the goal is of the brands that are there, right? They want people with large audiences there who are good at creating content to share that they're there. And then in exchange, I get to network with the other influencers and I get cool free products and stuff, stuff like that. And I have been extra tired lately from having I call it the government illness. You know what I'm talking about. So this latest variant is wild. I don't wish it on anyone. And I feel like I need to say this. And I know this is making this episode not as timely if you're listening way in the future, but I don't think this thing is going away, sadly. If you feel like you're not of sound mind, Like your brain fog is really bad. You have relentless exhaustion, but you're not like bedridden, but your brain is playing a lot of tricks on you. And you've gotten this recently, and you might have even gone, maybe it's my allergies. Maybe I have a cold. Maybe it's a low grade flu. I just want to validate you. Thank God there is a woman who put this out on TikTok that went viral. And she's like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but someone, I need to say it. And she shared the symptoms, and you should see it. It went viral. The comment section was lit up. And it was so validating to me when I saw this last week because I thought finally, I was mentally losing it. I was like, oh, the day has come. I'm mentally, truly unhinged and staying there. And so, anyway, I digress. I know, random Tiff rant. So if you're experiencing that, please know that you're not alone in that, and your brain will come back to you, but it takes way longer than you're going to want it to. So I know that I have to be extra careful of my energy, of my time, of my bandwidth, because I'm not functioning at full capacity, right? So I need to even be a better steward of my fucks. Speaking of fucks, my first ever physical product, my ZFG Lifestyle Daily Guided Journal, is coming out soon. And you want to make sure you are the first on the list for this thing. You need to make sure that you are on my Secret Posse Weekly Digest, which is my incredible email list. And you can also access that in the show notes or right here in the description on YouTube. Just saying. There's going to be some cool bonuses and things that come with that. So I wanted to say yes because there was part of me that's like, well, God, what if I don't get asked to something like this again? And I kind of don't fully know how this part of the world works. So, if you say no, does that mean you won't be invited to future ones? Don't you need to kind of say yes? And maybe I'm being invited for a reason. Maybe the universe is, there's someone I'm supposed to meet there, blah, 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 all the stuff that goes on in my head. But I paused and had to ask myself, what is my motivation here? My motivation for wanting to go is that there was a fear I might not be invited again if I didn't say yes. My motivation to go was also like kind of being nosy. And I think it'd be really fun for you guys, for me to let you know, like, what goes down at these things. I mean, I've been to a couple, but like, I'm nosy. Like, I love spilling tea. Like, I think it'd be fun and interesting, and maybe like meet some cool people. I love me some content. So, like, content whore over here, be some good content. Okay. So, we know what my motivation is. How is this helpful to me and my life goals? And see, the first one may make sense to you, right? Whatever you're doing it for. I'm just using myself as an example. But then you get to the second question in this. How is this helpful to me and my goals? Now you can go, how is this helpful to me? Okay, well, it could be helpful because maybe I'm supposed to meet someone here. I think it'd be cool for me to have an agent represent me at this point. So maybe I'm meeting an agent. Maybe I'm going to have fun. There's a lot of maybes in there, right? Like, maybe. And is this really helpful to my overall life goals? Not really. Very low on the radar. Then we go to the third thing. And so the first two in this case did not help me get to an exact yes or no. That's why I wanted to use this as an example for you. But then we get to the third question. What is my truth right now that no one needs to know but me? My truth. I'm fucking exhausted. The last thing I feel like doing is my hair, my makeup, a cute outfit, getting in a car or getting in an Uber, going to a spot in LA, which going anywhere in LA, if you've been to LA and you live in LA, we don't know what's going to happen. It could take an hour, it could take a half an hour, it could take an hour and a half, and you never know, and you have no control over it. That sounded like a lot of work to me, given that at that moment I was living my best life in a robe and my hair had not been washed in 5 days. So we knew the only look I was going to be able to pull off would be a bun life or low pony. And do I really want to present myself at an influencer event as not my best self? Is that really a good plan? Probably not. So that last question was my truth. And when we don't honor our truths, we're abandoning ourselves. So I had to make a choice to honor myself. You want to do this with everything. Sometimes what you'll notice is you go down the should path. Well, I should do this. I should put out another freebie. I should do an ebook. I should have a podcast. I should be on YouTube. I should have a Pinterest. I should. And then you get so exhausted and so overwhelmed. And really, the shoulds don't pay the bills. The shoulds aren't going to get you there. It needs to be clear, because otherwise you're going to lose your luster and your motivation to do it. And you're not going to have that connection and clarity and creativity needed to like do the thing. So you'll either show up at something not in your best energy, it'll drain you further, you could get sick, or you'll put something out there because you thought you should and it doesn't do well because it's not really meant for you right now and it's not aligned with you. And you've got to train yourself to do this. But look at how short I just did that in. And in between, I'm obviously like walking you through it. So this doesn't take 24 hours. This can happen that quickly. Golden money rule number 10. You need to slow down to speed up and be willing to pull back to shoot ahead. Your ego will not like it. In fact, it will seem counterintuitive. Let me give an example. This golden rule number 10 has come out of me making my most costly mistakes that I have made in my life. It seemed counterintuitive for me to hire people to help me in my first business, because I said, well, when I have enough money coming in, then I'll hire someone. Well, once I'm making X amount of dollars, then I'll hire, a coach or a business consultant, because that's more so what they were called at that time. I will wait and do this when, well, I can't take my foot off the gas right now. If I take my foot off the gas right now, then I'll make even less money. And then I'm going to be in a worse situation. And then there's no chance it's going to work. And it just seems like the opposite. Like, why would I spend money when I'm bleeding money? Why would I spend money when I'm not making enough? That doesn't make sense. I need to keep more of it. And that's why I always get it where you're coming from, where it's like, it's scary to invest when you're not sitting there cash flush. Well, that I know that you're not cash flush. That's why you're coming to me, right? Unless you're an established entrepreneur and you're looking to scale into the millions, or the tens of millions, right? And I have those kind of clients too. But a majority, it's because you're not cash flush or you're trading all of your time for money, and therefore you're energy depleted. You're not energy flush. You're not time flush, which means you don't have fucking freedom. And that's not sustainable either. So wouldn't it be better for you to spend money? Let's just do a random number. Okay. Let's say it's $20,000. Spend $20,000. Take a pause. This doesn't mean you have to disappear from your business, have no clients, go in the middle of the, jungle somewhere or on a silent retreat. But you are investing, you're not putting out and pushing and forcing, because all the stuff you've been putting out over and over and trying obviously isn't working. So doing more of that isn't going to get you more money, more clients, more results. What you need to do is have a full regroup and spend that money. So it's going to look like your bank account is going to look like, right? It's going down. It might even be in the negative, which seems really counterintuitive to business. But you're strategically doing that, pulling it back. You are making an investment in yourself and your business in order to go, okay, who do I need to have in place? I need someone to show me what the holes are here. We need to repackage some offers, redo messaging, and have an actual proper launch plan and an actual like sales acquisition funnel, and I don't mean some complex funnel, but a simple funnel that feels good to me and my ideal clients, so that you spring way ahead. So you're not losing anything. Temporarily, though, it looks like that. Like temporarily, it's not a setback. You're deliberately taking a sidestep. You're deliberately taking a pause in order to shoot ahead. Look at some of our most favorite music artists. Even though I'm not a Swiftie, no hate to her or anything. That's not my style of music. But using her as an example, she disappeared for, I don't know, 2 years, 4 years in order to pull back and create everything she's created and come out with now. You see this with actors, you see this with other musicians. Now I know what your brain's going, yeah, but they have tens of millions of dollars, Tiffany. They never have to work again. So it's easy for them to do that. Listen, I've coached some celebrities before, and they just have a different set of things that goes on. They are afraid that they'll become irrelevant, that they'll be forgotten about, that their fans will be upset, that they'll let people down. They have all these people now on their team and in their life that feed their families based off the salaries that they pay. And if they're not actively working, they still have to pay these people, and their agent isn't making money off them. And I could go on and on. It's just a different level of resistance and noise that comes up. That's all. You have money noise at any level you're at. So to think you're not going to have money noise, even if you're worth 100 million, that's not true. There's money noise up there too. It just looks a little bit different. So your ego, you're going to have to tie that bitch up and put her in the trunk. But before you do that, you're going to need to say lovingly to this ego that is trying to protect you, and say, I get it. I get what this looks like. This looks like we're going backwards. This looks like the opposite of what we need to do, but we can't keep going how we've been going because that isn't working, and that's only going to yield more of the same. So we've got to do this, because otherwise you're screwed. Otherwise, you're just going to keep trudging and pushing and forcing into nowhere. And I did this for 5 years with my first business. I was that stubborn. I didn't have some fancy cushion. I had some money in the bank because I operate pretty conservatively in terms of like my spending, even though it might not look like that on the outside. I do spend less than what I make. But once I started investing in things that I knew would get me an ROI in my business that would set me up to spring ahead, I finally got it. I went, okay, to the point where now I go, what can I spend my money on right now that is going to get me more of what I want? More freedom, more time back, more energy, more peace of mind, more money, helping more people, more of an audience. What can I do? Not, oh, I don't want to have to spend my money. It's like a one and done thing. It's like, that is not how this works. You've got to keep investing in order to get yourself further ahead in any area of your life. If you rely on self-will, as I had most of my life, you will end up stuck in it. You'll end up a prisoner of it, because we can only go so far in our own. We can only see what we can see. That's why I always say, when you're standing in the frame, you can't see the whole picture. I don't care how self-aware you are. So really take a look at, maybe I do need, to spend more money than I have right now. I need to get a business loan. I need to use credit cards in order to do this properly so I can spring ahead. And that's why, and you can go look at my receipts Instagram highlight. Okay, you got to go on Instagram, look at it. It's titled Receipts. And you'll see in there, I show examples, not just of my account being flush positive. I also share what it looks like where it's the opposite, where it's like I brought in, I'm just making up a number right now, but I brought in 80, but 150,000 was spent. So it's in the negative. But then I make a point of saying, I'm pulling back, right? I'm investing in doing ads. I'm investing in doing this thing or that thing strategically so that I can spring ahead. And then I show what happens like a month later, and you see how cash flush I am. Does that make sense? So I know you guys love examples and like tangible stuff. So that'll really help you to look at that, but it's going to not seem right. I mean, just like when you have to take a break in a relationship, whether it's a friendship, it's a family member, you kind of have to step away and distance yourself from a situation so that you can get more clarity. And most therapists recommend this, right? Because it's hard to see clearly when you're in it and what's going on. It can be very confusing. And when you take a step away and a step back and slow down, everything becomes clearer. It's unbelievable. But you have to deliberately do that. You can't just like wait for it. You've got to know this is part of the game. And that also includes you taking a step back, and maybe you do need to take a week off. You guys have seen me take like 2 weeks off from my podcast. Now it's strategic, right? Like I don't just go, I don't feel like it, so I'm not doing it. I can tell when it's time where I need to like have much less on my plate so I can be still, so I can regain creativity, so I can have some space and freedom for dreaming, for brainstorming and mental clarity. And of course, it can seem counterintuitive. I always tell myself the story that, oh my God, you guys are going to be mad. You guys are going to tune into other podcasts and then not come back to mine. Or I'll say, no one's going to even notice that I'm not publishing episodes for 2 weeks. And that's kind of sad and embarrassing. I tell myself all this shit, but I also still do it. Golden money rule number 11, the final one. I feel like I should have made a point of having number 11 be like the most potent one, but realistically, each of these are so potent. I mean, I've narrowed this list down to 11 because a lot of the things could have been combined. Because at a certain point, it's like I can only take so much in, Tiff, which is why this is a 4-part series. Okay. Driving fresh cash while maximizing your current cash. Okay. So if you have a business or you want to be, financially free in life, even if you don't have a business or you don't have a desire for one, if you are not focusing on both having fresh cash coming into your business and life while also maximizing whatever current cash that you have so that it's working for you, so that it's making money for you, you will never have the freedom that you want. You just won't. And if you don't have fresh cash coming into your business consistently, you don't have a business. You have what I call as a jobby, a time and energy sucking hobby. And at a certain point, you're going to fizzle out. You're going to fry out. It's not going to work. We've got to be driving fresh sales, fresh things. We've got to have things set up in a way so that the money you already have is making you more money, i.e. passive income. But then you're also bringing in that fresh cash, which I like to consider as like the active income. The problem that most people find themselves in that I notice is most of us started out as working for someone else, a corporate career, a jobby job. So you started out in that spot, which is truly, time for money, and it's one revenue stream. Maybe you have two because you have a retirement fund. Maybe there's three because your company offers like stock sharing, stuff like that. But realistically, your main source of income is one thing, and it's your time for money, and it's a lot of it for money. Okay. And then you get those golden handcuffs on you. You kind of stay in that zone and you can't get out of that trap because you don't really have other sources of money that is really making you enough money to really do anything. And then you're trading all your time that you have and energy you have for the fresh cash. So you don't have much time or energy left to like start or develop new fresh cash revenue streams. And then you end up trapped by this whole cycle. And some of you, are in this now, and I know how painful it is. It's designed to have you trapped there, okay? I used to be a CEO of a major medical group. Like, I know how it's designed, right? They design it for a reason so they can have employee retention, okay? And so just like when it comes to our healthcare, that we have to be radical advocates of our own health, right or wrong, we have to do it. We can't expect it to be done for us and everyone to check all the boxes for us. We have to take that ownership. You have to do the same thing when it comes to income and cash and your freedom and happiness for your own life. So the real trick is being able to already structure your business in a way, or your exit plan from working for someone else in a way where you have multiple revenue streams that you can work less and make more. Things like memberships, which is something I teach in my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. How to create a reoccurring revenue model where you give your time, but you're serving so many people, so you can make so much more money. I mean, I probably spend 5 hours a month on my Posse membership, but make $500,000 a year on it, right? Like, that's a great trade. On my group coaching programs, right? Like, maybe let's just say there's 25 hours. Let's even go further. Let's say there's 80 hours, but you have $1 million launch. 80 hours are 2 fucking work weeks. That's it. 80 hours and you're making $1 million. That's a great trade. Even when, and a lot of people will knock this private coaching thing or like one-on-one services. And I always laugh at that. It's like, I love doing private coaching. Now, I only take 4 people at a time, but you can put boundaries around it. And I want you to put boundaries around it. But that's also the highest ticket way to work with you. So there's nothing wrong with having that. But what I see a lot of newer entrepreneurs doing is they get stuck in that one-on-one only, because that's what's so familiar from doing the jobby job. And then pretty soon you recreate your own situation in your own business, where now you don't have the time and energy freedom because all you're doing are direct, right? Like one-on-one services. And now you might as well go work for somebody else. And I don't want you to shame yourself. I ended up there with my first business. I was so trained that it was time for money. And even though I was making a lot more money for that time having my own business, which is how I justified it, you're going to reach a glass ceiling because there's only one of you. You only have so much energy. And by the way, we all know that's not why you started a business. You started a business so that you could reclaim your life, so that you could have the freedom to do what you want when you want. So that goes back to even rule number 10 of why you need to slow down to speed up. Because if you're in that cycle of where you're trading most all your time for money and you've not created any scalable offers within your business, and this is for any type of business, okay? You can have scalable offers. I don't care if you're a lawyer, if you are a gas station, if you do eyebrows, if you sell sweatshirts, you're a coach, you can always have scalable offers. In fact, if you don't, you're just going to recreate a situation that you can't go past it. Either you're going to reach an energetic hit where you can't go any further, you're tapped out energetically. You're going to reach a time hit where you just have no more time, and it's not going to look pretty. You're going to be getting sick a lot. You're going to be burned out. You're going to need to take all weekend to recover in order to start again. You're going to start to resent your business. You're going to start to even resent your clients. You're going to resent other people you see online who are leveraging their time to make more money, and they have that freedom that you want. And you're going to start having a lot of jealousy when you see people showing that. And fun fact, what you're jealous of or envious of in other people it's actually a good thing. It shows you what you're missing from your life, and therefore it shows you the hole that you need to plug in your business or your life. So use that to your advantage. It's there for a reason. I can tend to get jealous if I see people doing a lot of like playful activities. And then I go, I'm getting kind of jealous of this. I'm getting envious of this. That's because I have not allowed myself or allotted myself enough time for just true blissful play and unhinged activities. So that happened recently. So I have an unhinged activity planned very soon. I'm going to probably share this activity, and I think you will find it absolutely hysterical. That's coming up in a couple weeks. We have to plan these things. So what are you jealous of? That's a great thing for you to even look at. What are you envious of? That'll make it really clear for you. You know, if it's like people who don't even have to look at their bank account and look twice before they book a trip or before they order the extra avocado or before they sign their kid up for something or before they hire the coach or do the thing and you really want that. Okay. Now you know that that's a hole. That's something that you really want. You have a cash flow problem. And if you do not know how to fix that, you're going to need to invest your money into learning how to fix that. For you to say, well, I just have this problem and I don't know what I'm going to do. And I guess I'll figure it out. That is not a plan. That is you thinking you can do it from your ass, right? If you had a rash that kept coming back and you tried different lotions and you tried different things and you asked some friends, my guess is you would make an appointment with a doctor. You would go in and see what the hell is going on. So your business and financial life is no different. We can't do this alone. I tried because I didn't really want to have to rely or trust people. I didn't want to have to spend money. I wanted to keep more for myself. And it didn't work out very well for me. It made me very sick. And in fact, it held me back dramatically financially. And once I started to really get it and invest and follow these rules, the money just started rolling in. So go make a move for May. Do my Make More Work Less money course. This is the Abundance Duo. Get in here while the flash sale is still going, 200 off, and go into the posse and see if there's any new member spots left. Like, there is no better value out there than that posse membership. It's absolutely insane. And you can also go on my highlights on Instagram, in addition to obviously the posse sign up page, and you'll see hundreds of testimonials. You don't have to even like take my word for it. But regardless, make a damn move that makes you uncomfortable, because you remaining in a spot that you don't have much resistance in, it is not going to make any money move. You're going to stay stagnant. And I don't want to see that happen for you, because I know what that's like and how maddening it is, because I did it for so many years. So go listen to this series. If you loved it, please share the series with someone who really is looking to make a big like money change in their life. They're at a point where they're like, I want that financial freedom. I want generational wealth. I want to be able to feel free and like wealthy and healthy. And I'm that bitch. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am rich. I am that bitch. You know what I'm talking about, that viral song. I know I shouldn't sing, and I've sung a few times in this episode. I'm well aware. All right. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you.